Welcome back everybody. My name is Rizbot the Blade, your personal mining guru, and today we're gonna explain you everything what you need to know about mining modules and mining gadgets which you need to use in the game. So let's dive in. First we need to mention Red Monster Gaming again, because we're always using his data for mining, and I'm gonna put the link in description so you guys can also check his site and download all this data for yourself. In Star Citizen game, for mining you can use two types of modules which you can put as upgrades on your mining heads, and these two types of modules are active modules and passive modules. The difference between these two is that passive modules are always on your mining head and they're always like turned on, if you want to say it like that. So that means that you constantly have the benefits from them when you're mining and you don't have to turn them on. But active modules, it's opposite of that. So this is modules which are lasting from 15 seconds to 60 seconds when you turn it on once, and you can turn them on repeatedly like that from 3 times to 10 times. This all depends which module you are using. I'm gonna show you here now. We are in the mole mining laser, and to use these active modules you always need to hold left alt and then you press number 1, 2 or 3, which is designated for first, second or a third slot for module, and this all depends which mining head you're using, so much slots you have for modules. Active module which we're using now, it's a surge module, and this module has very short duration from 15 seconds, so I can easily show you how long this lasts. And you can use it like this 7 times in a row, and then this module and every other type of active modules are falling off the mining head, so you completely lose them and you need to replace them with the new one. To be able to replace mining modules, no matter if it's active module or passive module, or completely replace the mining head, you can actually do that from outside of the ship now. And to do that, on your keyboard you need to hold right alt, not left one, but right one, and press letter K. That's a default setup to open ship ports. And after this is open, then you can go outside of the ship, and with your multi-tool with the tractor beam attachment, you can exchange modules, or even if you wanna do the mining heads. But in concern passive modules, like we said, they're always on your mining heads. They can only fall off if you're gonna overcharge the rock to push it in the red, because then the pressure which is released after the rock breaks can strip off all the modules, no matter if they are active modules or passive ones. And then you need to repair the ship to get them back, or you need to claim another ship, which is much better option, because when this happens and you strip off all your modules, passive modules are very expensive, and you can have over 300k or 300,000 in money can be your cost of repair. So never do that to repair the ship. Always land on like landing pad, check your repair cost, and if your repair cost is too big, just park next to the landing pad and leave the ship outside. Make your ticket in refinery first, and then after that claim another ship, because with claiming another ship you're gonna get brand new modules which you set up as a default in the vehicle loadout manager. Let's get back now on the modules. So like we said, we have active ones and passive ones, and here in this mining data chart you can see in upper part that we have 8 active ones, and then we have 6 passive ones which have like models from weakest ones to strongest ones, if you want to say. So what we mean by strongest ones, it gives us the most benefit in the percentages. And from active ones, we usually only mostly use Stampede and Search, and in passive ones we mostly using Focus and Rieger, and strictly Focus 3 and Rieger C3. Let's now explain what all benefits are you getting with these modules and why you should use them. Let's first go with the passive modules. Focus modules are increasing the size of the optimal charge window. So this is that green zone in which your charge bar needs to get in and where you need to holding it till the rock breaks. And because of this taller size, you have much more safer mining. And if you do some error, you can return much faster in this green size to fix that error. And you can see here Focus 3, which is the best one, has 40% increasing of that window size. And normally if you have 3 slots like on Helix laser, you can put 3 of them on. So that's a huge increase. This module is reducing for 5% the mining laser power, but usually we are putting only one of these modules on the mining heads. So this 5% of reducing power on the Focus 3 module, it's not such a big deal. Our next module, it's Rieger module. So we usually always normally using Rieger C3, which is the most expensive one, because we can get increase in power of 25%. So altogether is 125 with your normal output power. And the optimal charge window is just reduced by -1%, as you see here. So that's the minimum what you can lose with that. These Rieger modules are very good to put because they don't reduce something else like resistance, for example. So they're a very good choice for getting, much more power on the laser. Next 4 modules are modules which are not so much important to use. That's why we put Focus 3 and Rieger C3 as a meta, and all these other modules are, just a choice if you wanna put them on, or what would be the best is just take it with you in the backpack and then put it on if you need it, because otherwise with them you're just wasting a slot. So let's now explain all these 4 different modules. So XTR module, it's module which is increasing optimal window charge, but it's increasing less than Focus, but people are using them very often because they're reducing inert materials. So they're filtering a little bit more inert materials. But this is not so much important because it's a low percentage. Focus is much better option. And like we said before, you don't get so much inert materials anyway. Then second one is FLTR, which is strictly reducing much more inert materials, but extraction laser power it's lower, so that means it's gonna collect much slower, right? But like we said again, filtering, it's okay if you really wanna put it on and make one of your lasers to strictly, filter out inert, you can, but I'm not recommending this because you're not gonna get so much inert materials anyway. Then Torrent module, it's a module which is increasing the speed of breaking rock when you enter the optimal charge window. With 40% more, if you have like Torrent 3, it's much faster, especially if you put few of them. Again, this is not so much important because you're not gonna crack 100 rocks, This speed is not gonna reduce the time of your run so drastically, so it's not so much important. It's a nice thing to have, but like a support module, more to put it in your backpack, not on the ship. And the last one is Vaux, which has extraction laser power. So this is that collecting speed, which you can increase. And like I said before, if you put these modules on the impact laser, you're gonna get extremely fast speed of collecting. But that's again your option, it's not necessary thing. And as you see here, all these modules are cost like 20k, 40k, 60k, which is the highest value to pay for module. And that's why if you wanna make your setups, you always need to think about to put this type of modules on your default loadout and put something else in your backpack or in the inventory, because if you lose the ship and you need to claim it, then this module is gonna come back with insurance. And if you strip off modules to overcharge the rock when they fell off from your mining heads, you're gonna need to repair the ship, and then this cost is gonna be huge. So you need to claim ship again to not do that and not waste money. That's why you need to put them as a default loadout and put in your backpack modules which are active modules, which cost from under 1000 to 3000k, which is very cheap. Let's talk about now active modules. Two most important ones, which are like a meta, what everybody is using, it's Stampede module and Search. Benefits of these modules are that they're increasing the power of the mining laser, and Stampede specifically is also reducing minus 10% instability, but Search is reducing minus 15% resistance. So when you combine these two, you're getting like 85% more mining power and minus 15% resistance, which is very great combination. Other modules like Lifeline, for example, it's also great for a laser instability drop and also resistance drop, but the problem with that module is that it only lasts 15 seconds and you can use it only 3 times. So it has the lowest using time, if you want to say it like that. What is concerned Optimum module? This module you're supposed to use like on the second breaks, where you need much more smaller power output, but you need to reduce instability. And this module also have minus 80% overcharge rate reduction, which is huge, so it makes mining pretty safe. Rime is something similar like Optimum, but these two are like something Stampede and Search are. Like one is reducing instability, other one is reducing resistance. But both these modules are not so much important. Brandt, it also has 35% mining power increase, but it has 15% increase in resistance. This module you can use where you need like more power, but resistance is already very low, right? But it's not so much important module. And now the last two are Torpid and Forel. Torpid main thing is to, speed up optimal charge rate. So the rock in that green bar, it's gonna go faster from right to left to crack it. And that's basically the main thing. Forel also is for extraction laser power, so this is that thing that you can use same as passive Vaux modules to increase speed of collecting, right? So these modules are not so important, and see how they work, it's okay, but it's really not necessary thing to use. So basically from all these modules, what is important, it's from active ones Stampede and Search, and from passive ones Focus 3 and Rieger C3. No matter what builds you're gonna make with your lasers and modules, these 4 modules, they need to be on your builds, because they're gonna make your mining much easier. And normally here on the right side we also have again availability by location, so this is where you can buy these all modules, all the stations, basically stations who have refineries, so you can buy them in these consoles, right? And you can buy their mining heads, modules, and also gadgets. So let's talk about gadgets now. What is Gadget? Gadget is a small device which you can carry on your backpack or in your local inventory in the ship, and you can put it actually on the backpack. You go out where the rock is and you can put directly this gadget on the rock. All these gadgets also gives you benefits in mining, same as modules. It exists 6 of them, But we have three meta ones, which is mostly used, and this is Sabir, Waveshift, and Boremax. So let's talk about Sabir. Sabir gadget is little bit increasing laser instability, but is reducing resistance by minus 50%, which is huge help when you need to crack something big, especially if you're mining alone in Prospector, or same goes for mole, for solo mining. And it's increasing optimal charge window size by 50%. Usually what you're gonna need to reduce is always resistance and instability. So when you need to reduce instability, you're supposed to use Waveshift or Boremax. As you see here, Waveshift has minus 35% reduction, but it has also optimal charge window size 100% increase. So Waveshift, it's your best friend, if you want to say it like that, because instability is the biggest thing what we need to fight against, and with this 100% bigger optimal window size, you get a very large benefit in mining. Boremax Gadget is reducing laser instability by minus 70%, and it's giving cluster modifier 30%. So what cluster modifier is, it's basically sticking materials more together, so you're gonna get better breaks. Boremax Gadget is actually very good gadget to use when you wanna do multi-ship mining, because of his big reduction in instability. And reason for that is how the game works now is that if you have one ship mining one rock and you adding another ship to help, the instability is gonna grow 100%, and that's a big problem. That's why this Boremax gadget is a big help when you wanna do something like that. Always keep in mind, if you really wanna add another ship, just always put Boremax on that rock, and then you're gonna be pretty safe with your mine. So other three gadgets are Optimax, Stalwart, and Okunis. And Optimax, it's reducing resistance by minus 30%, so that's why it's a much better option, because it has a little bit higher reduction. But Optimax, it's also giving 60% cluster modifier. So when you wanna try to get much more materials to collect, which are good one, you can try to put this gadget on, but this is just from situation to situation where you can actually, use it. Because you can't put two gadgets on the rock to work together, it's only one. Stalwart has minus 35% reduction in instability, and it has optimal charge window rate speed faster. But it has optimal charge window size smaller by 30%. So this is again one of these things, which is actually increasing the speed of braking, but because of that, other benefits are lower on that gadget, so it's not so much important thing to use. And Okunis normally is the same thing, because he's increasing this braking speed by 50% more, which is altogether 100%. It has optimal charge window size bigger, 50%, but it's again not so much important gadget to use. This is just preference, if you really want to try it, how they work, it's totally fine. But these first three, Sabir, Waveshift, and Boremax, are your gadgets to go. And here on the right side we also have availability by location, and this is normally all the stations who have refineries inside them, and normally stores in the cities on the planet. That's it for now, guys. I hope all this information is gonna be useful for you and that you can remember it all. In the next video we're gonna talk about materials, where to find them, what to mine, where to mine, and properties of materials. So stick around, and if you find this all information helpful, subscribe, like, and share all this with other players so they can also start their successful mining. Keep remembering all this data, guys, and till next time, see ya. Bye bye.